Financial power, got yours. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 145 of our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us in some way. This month we are focusing on financial well-being, and today's topic is power, specifically financial power. Now, when I was researching this, it's interesting. We all have our own thoughts and feelings and beliefs about our level of financial power, and whether you consider your financial power success or how you define success, we all have a different gauge on where we think we are on our journey to achieve the financial goals and objectives that we want for ourselves. And with that comes a certain amount of power. Now, I'm a much bigger fan and believer in personal power, because the more I learn about finances, the more I understand that I don't have a clue about how the overarching world of high-powered finance actually works. I mean, I've got the basics, but I really don't understand the detailed workings of it. It's one of those industries I have not been a part of, except working with them in different areas and aspects of business and in life, but I haven't ever worked in the financial industry or the financial sector. So it's still a little mystery to me. But we're going to talk today about how do we achieve the level of financial power that we want, because it's available to all of us, believe it or not. Only 1% of the population is actually born with a silver spoon in their mouth. That's our idiom for today. In America, anyway. I don't know what it is in other countries, but in America, it's about 1%. That means they're really, really wealthy, and they're born that way. So they automatically come into this world with a different set of beliefs, thinking, mindset, because that's what their parents will teach them. They'll teach them the way they think, which is differently than the 99% of the rest of us, right? So how do we achieve whatever it is that we want financially, given that we're not born rich, right? And it's possible for anyone. I've learned over the decades that it's more important my choices and what I choose to believe and think than any outside circumstances. Anything outside of me, I mean, if I were to count the number of times people told me something was impossible, or I couldn't do it, or that I was crazy and I was fooling myself, and then I went ahead and did the thing I said I was going to do anyway, I've lost count of how many times I've done that, because people outside of us and people other than us will tell us a lot of the time what we think or believe is crazy, but they're just telling us they can't believe it for themselves. It's crazy for themselves. It's not necessarily something that we can't do. And once we get over that and stop caring and believing what other people tell us we're capable of, and just choose and test and push our boundaries and figure out what we are capable of, anything is possible. So I looked up, turns out there's a documentary film, and I have not seen it, but I'm probably going to watch it now because I'm really curious, called, I think it's 97% Owned or something. And it's about financial power, and it might even be called Financial Power, but it talks about money manipulation, and the invention of credit, and how that's changed the balance of power and how finances are looked at, and how some people, a few people, have a lot of financial power because they control the credit for the rest of us. Just think of the impact of your credit score. If you don't know what your credit score is, it's one of the first things we want to do, is we want to understand and learn more about the world of finance, how it works, because there's things that are outside of our personal individual control, right? But it doesn't mean we have to let those things stop us. If you have a bad credit score, who cares? That you can still create what you want. You just might have to go about it differently than somebody that has a good credit score, right? So I'm curious. I'm probably going to find some time over this weekend to watch that documentary, because I'm really curious about it. And I am always looking for ways to understand finance and the way the world works, since I haven't been a part of that industry. So I looked up a bunch of lists on habits to develop financial stability and success, 7 ways to be financially savvy, how to create wealth from nothing, which is a good one for a lot of us, because 99% of the population was not born wealthy. And then 8 tips to become a millionaire. I don't know if that's applicable or not. You may or may not want to be doing that. Now, a lot of these lists overlap, of course, but I'm going to share the highlights of them. I think we'll start with 10 habits to develop. I'd say financial stability, financial success, and financial power could all be the same thing to us. At least it's all the same thing to me. So number 1, make savings automatic. Number 2, I guess that goes along with the belief of paying yourself first. So often we pay everybody else and all of our bills and everything, and then we never have anything left over for us and for savings. So we work and work and work to get money and earn money, yet there's none left after all the bills and obligations at the end of the day for us to create the life we want to save. We need to flip that around. Number 2, control your impulse spending. Impulse spending is usually some of the worst spending that we do. And marketers and stores and retailers know this. That's why they have all the cool little impulse buy items on the end cap. How many of us buy those? I used to buy them all the time. Now I don't. I actually try to not even look at those when I go by the checkout. And the great thing about COVID is we don't have, I'm sure impulse spending and impulse buys has gone down dramatically since COVID, because when I go to the grocery store, when I used to go to the grocery store every week, everything that looked good or sounded good, and especially if I was hungry, I would buy. And a lot of it was on impulse. You know, you'd have your list, you go on your list, you buy the stuff on your list, and sometimes you forget the stuff on your list. But then you'd also buy probably the same number of items on impulse, at least I used to until I got better about it, as were on your list. And with COVID and online shopping, it's a lot easier to, number one, miss stuff, but not get the impulse things, just get the things that you really need. So I think that that's one of the benefits for me personally from COVID is the online shopping and the delivery, grocery delivery and things means I buy stuff that I should get and is good for me, and a lot less of the impulse stuff. Number 3, evaluate your expenses and live frugally. Frugally, just like success and power and everything else, is defined by you. I think it means live within your means so that you have some money to set aside and save and invest in your future. Number 4, we always want to be investing in our future. I will say forever, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself, in learning, growing, personally developing. Learning more about finance would be a much better way to invest in yourself and invest in your future than going out and giving your extra money and savings to the first, financial planner that you run across. Number 5, keep your family secure. Number 6, eliminate and avoid debt. Now, debt is another topic that you need to learn a lot more about, because depending on what you're doing, debt to acquire income generating property or assets is not necessarily a bad thing. Remember, our home, our primary residence, unless we rent it out, is not income generating. Therefore, it is not an asset, it is a liability. It's just like our car. Our car we drive to and from work. Yep, we need it to drive to and from work. But that is an expense, a liability. It is not an asset. So learn the difference between assets and liabilities, and how to manage and understand that so that you know whether you're investing wisely or not, and what's an investment versus what is an expense. So eliminate and avoid debt. Use the envelope system, and I'm not going to go into that, but it's basically, you have envelopes for each different category, 50% of what you make, and I'm not going to do the percentages because it's up to you and based on your particular needs. But there's a system where you make it automatic to divvy up your money, and that way you automatically put 10 to 50% in savings or investments, etc. Pay bills immediately or automatically. Nowadays, it's so easy to pay bills online. I have actually given my vision challenges, most, if not all, I still have a couple things that I write checks for, but for the most part, certain expenses and things are automatic. But you have to keep an eye on those recurring expenses, because sometimes they go up, sometimes they change, sometimes they make mistakes, right? I don't know if I've ever shared the story about my $68,000 electric bill that was going to come out of my bank account automatically. And let's just say that was, 10 times more than what would normally be my utility bill for my business. So number 9, read about personal finance, read about finance, learn about finance, how it works, so that you know how you can use it to your advantage. And then 10, look for ways to grow your net worth, right? Look for multiple streams of income. We've talked about that. Look for ways to increase your net worth, what you're worth, because that helps you to get better credit, get access to more funds, because debt can be used in a positive way, etc. We're not going to go into all those details. This other list, let's look at 8 tips to become a millionaire. And I'm not going to comment on these. Stay away from debt is number 1. And again, debt, this is assuming debt is bad, but debt is not necessarily bad. Number 2, invest early and automatically. 3, make savings a priority. 4, increase your income to reach your goals faster. 5, cut unnecessary expenses. 6, keep your millionaire goal front and center. 7, work with an investing professional. And I'm going to put the emphasis on professional. Make sure you do your due diligence. And if you're going to work with a professional, pick him or her wisely. And number 8, put your plan on repeat and automatic. Put your plan in action and work your plan. So today, what is our action item? I would say, let's just answer this question. Do you have all of the financial power that you want right now or yet? And, my answer is no. I don't have all the financial success and power and that I want yet. Not yet. Will I? I plan on having it, but I don't right now. So my answer would be no. So just share in the comments below. Yes, no, question mark, no idea. First time I've thought about my financial power and what it means to me. And I'll be with you tomorrow. I'm not sure what our topic is tomorrow, but it's going to be something about our financial well-being. Any questions about the financial well-being, financial area or aspect of our life that you're afraid I might not touch on, please let me know. Ask in the questions or comments below or direct message me. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And notice the financial world around you as you go about your day and see what you maybe haven't been noticing before. But, maybe you've got a habit of spending unnecessarily on something every day that you're like, oh, I really don't need that. I could cut that out, and then I could take that money and I could reallocate it to my savings or investment plan. All right. Have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow. Bye.